Yeah. Elon on his way out. And by the way, Elon might be backing off a little bit. I believe he deleted the Epstein tweet. Not that you can really delete something like that. Like, again, it's not a Twitter beef between YouTubers, it's massive political figures, right? So, once you've called the president an Epstein file, you've called the president an Epstein file, right? It just can't really walk it all back quite that easily. That being said, the beef is not done at all. Trump called Musk a big-time drug addict in a phone call shortly after their public feud. Apparently, Musk also assaulted Scott Bessent. In mid-April, Musk and Bessent had gone into the Oval Office to make their respective cases about their preferences for acting IRS commissioner. Trump decided to support Bessent's choice. The disagreement was first reported by the New York Times. After Bessent and Musk exited the Oval Office and began walking down the hallway, the two men started to exchange insults. Bannon said he was told, adding that Bessent brought up Musk's claims that he would uncover more than $1 trillion in wasteful and fraudulent government spending, which Musk had not succeeded in doing. Scott then said, "You're a fraud, you're a total fraud," Bannon said in an interview. Musk then rammed his shoulder into Bessent's ribcage like a rugby player. And if you remember how Musk is built, that's gotta hurt too. He's got that Robotnik build. Like his center of gravity is like right here in his lungs. So, a rugby tackle from him, it's like how when you swing a mace, the fact that the weight is on the end of the lever, it like multiplies the force, And Bessent hit him back. Multiple people stepped in to break up the scrum as the two men reached the National Security Advisor's office and Musk was shuffled out of the West Wing. President Trump heard about it and said, "This is too much." They're so fucking funny. I really don't think that they can walk back on this beef because like they already didn't like Elon. Why was Bessent surprised he's a fraud? I don't think Bessent was surprised. My guess is that all of them hated Elon because he's unlikable and everyone knows he's only there for his money. Trump did an interview today and he made it very clear he hates Elon now. Ooh, new news to me. Trump says Elon Musk will face, quote, very serious consequences if he funds Democratic candidates.
Yet regarding Elon Musk, he also confident than ever to face Garcia, president of Alstead.
Okay, that doesn't have the interview portion in it. Is the interview recorded? Trump on Saturday said there would be serious consequence if tech mogul Elon Musk funds Democratic candidates to run against Republicans who vote in favor of the GOP's sweeping budget bill. If he does, he'll have to pay the consequences of that, Trump told NBC News in a phone interview, but declined to share what those consequences would be. He'll have to pay very serious consequences if he does that, he added. The president said he has no desire to repair his relationship with Musk after a feud between the two men erupted into public view this week. Asked if he thought his relationship with the Tesla and SpaceX CEO was over, Trump said, "I would assume so, yeah." Well, shit. JD Vance says Elon Musk's attack against Trump is a huge mistake. Yeah, I did see this one. I told you he would hedge his bets. JD Vance would 100% just put his hands up and say like, "Hey, they're fighting. Don't want to get involved, but like, can't we all get along?" Yeah, his line was basically just that Musk is an emotional guy, which, male privilege, I guess. He reacted to the Epstein tweet on the Theo Von podcast. Let me guess, he downplayed it and said, "Oof, not getting involved in that one." Both hands up, caught. I actually think if Elon chilled out a little bit, everything would be fine, he added. Apparently not. According to Trump, apparently not. Trump says he has no plans to speak with Musk anytime soon. "I'm too busy doing other things," he said, adding, "I have no intention of speaking to him." This is... Okay, look, between the two of them, Trump obviously has way more social influence, but Elon hating the White House could actually be like really bad for Republicans. Even if Elon doesn't go as far as primarying Republicans by giving money to Democrats, if he primaries pro-Trump Republicans with more like dissident Republicans, that could also be really bad for him. Even the threat that he might primary people would make them a lot more hesitant, It's already doubtful that the bill in its current form is going to make it through the Senate. So with the additional pressure of Elon potentially weighing on the career of people who vote for it, that threat, not to mention losing Twitter as like a vehicle for, like a pro-Trump echo chamber. Is Musk smart enough to do so, though? No. Musk has money, but he is a fucking idiot. He would need handlers, right? Like, he wasn't the one planning and coordinating how his money was used. When he helped Trump win the election, he created the America PAC. He gave money to PACs. He gave money to advisors and consultants, and they use that money to benefit Republicans. He would need a group to work with that would help him enact revenge against the Republicans. I wonder if he could find them. The problem is, like, he wouldn't be able to with his tech Silicon Valley friends, because even the ones who aren't just sycophants, right? The like Peter Thiel types don't like Elon. They like what the government's doing right now. Who do people like Thiel align with? Thiel hates Elon. My guess is that people like Peter Thiel and Curtis Yarvin actually see Elon as like the antithesis of what they want to accomplish. Because Peter Thiel thinks that he's like a God King emperor with 500 IQ who is singly capable of fixing the world and all of its problems, right? And he probably correctly recognizes the fact that Elon is a moron and resents the fact that Elon was able to buy his way into power faster than Thiel was. Like, imagine being Peter Thiel and you spend years and years and years funding and backing specific Republican operatives. You know, your work with the Heritage Foundation, with J.D. Vance, right? And then Elon Musk, purely by virtue of being very wealthy and owning Twitter, just grifts into being a Republican in 2022. And after that, he's literally working side by side with the president. Like, imagine how frustrating that must be. Thiel's a dipshit, but he's not stupid the way Elon is. Like, that's got to be frustrating for him. He will not find allies in that Silicon Valley, you know, in that environment, in that social group, in that peerage. I don't know. I don't know who could work with Elon. If the Democrats were smart, they could work with him. Nah, there's no way to thread that needle, not meaningfully. Like, I would be supportive of the Democrats poking Musk with a stick and saying, hey man, aren't Republicans like so into deficit spending? That's pretty dumb of them, right? Hey, we think that we should actually trim down the Pentagon budget, poke poke, you know, and then like rile them up. But they can't do that, right? Because they're stupid. I think Schumer said essentially like, we should work with Elon. But there is no working with Elon. You can poke him. No working with him. He's a fucking Nazi and stupid. Well, you have any idea what the conditions would look like working with Elon? Oh, and with his money, they would follow those conditions too. Elon said jump, Schumer would say how high, you know, like, oh, you want $1 billion in PAC funding? Okay, I can just hand that to you. That's 1/4% of my net worth, you know. All you have to do is massive subsidies for Tesla, guaranteed no regulations on AI, like, no, fuck that. Working with him. Ro Khanna wants to be friends with Elon too. Ro Khanna's wanted to be friends with Elon for a long time. He represents Silicon Valley. But no, there's no working with this Nazi piece of shit. Not Ro Khanna. I mean, I dislike some of the stuff Ro Khanna does, but I don't think he's a Nazi. I mean Elon. Sorry, I just put his image on screen when I said that. There's no working with Elon, who is a Nazi piece of shit. You can prod him to your benefit, which I support. I support that. Just remember the reason Elon doesn't like the one big beautiful bill. The reason he's upset with it is because he thinks that it wastes too much government money. He would support it if more was cut from Medicaid. We're not dealing with a person whose disagreements with Trump are based on like a valuing of human life and liberty or whatever. We'll see how things go. No, Elon and Thiel are longtime friends. They are not. I promise you they are not. You don't think there's any merit to the cutting EV support stuff? I'm not sure what you mean. You mean to wanting to cut electric vehicle incentives? Like, how does that relate to what I was talking about? I'm fine with cutting subsidies to Tesla. I don't like the EV mandate, like in a broad sense, I guess, because I don't like electric vehicles being posited as a solution to climate change. But that Elon is mad about it. Elon has not raged against the EV mandates. That's not the main thing he's upset about at all. That's unironically Republican misinfo. The idea that Elon is upset with the one big beautiful bill because of the cut to EV mandates or the regulations or the subsidies or whatever, that's not why. The right wing is framed it that way because they want to imply that Elon is just a disingenuous grifter who is mad that he's not making more money from this. In reality, Elon is, again, really stupid. and genuinely thought he was being brought in to cut government waste. He failed to do so, and nobody in the Republican Party is respecting him for the work he did, and the bill, the one big beautiful bill, doesn't acknowledge his cuts. So he's upset about that. Elon has demonstrated before that he's willing to take like cuts to his wealth, to his business's well-being, in the pursuit of like, his ego. He's complained the bill got rid of EV subsidies. I think he mentioned it like once, but more or less offhanded. It's clear that he's upset about it's the ego game, you know? In this instance, I agree with the GOP framing. Why does Elon care about the deficit? He's super selfish. It's not that he cares about the deficit. It's that he cares about being respected for the work that he did. EV credits and NASA, the real reasons for Musk's anger. No, I disagree with this. I really, truly think that this is a bad read on him. Elon Musk's criticism of Donald Trump's tax bill, labeled as a disgusting abomination, highlights his discontent with the removal of electric vehicle credits. Source? That's the opening line? How? I don't know anything about the NASA thing. Yeah, Elon's also mad his close ally had his nomination for NASA admin withdrawn after Trump found out he donated to Democrats. That could be part of it. Democrats vow to leave lunatic Musk politically homeless. Good. Though it's still fine to prod him.